All right, Sarah Stillwell, you are from Kentucky, or you lived in Kentucky for a few years at least, right?
Yes.
And you live in Ohio now. And you mentioned in your paper some of the customs that are different. Now, you describe yourself as a Messianic Jew. What does that mean?
I believe that Christ has come,
Mhm.
and he did die, and he is risen, and we're actually waiting for him to come again. But we celebrate and do the Jewish traditions and all that.
Mhm. Okay. So you would still have a lot in common with the non-Messianic Jews as far as the customs and the holidays that they keep.
Yes.
Okay. What would you say is the reason that the Messianic Jews have not switched over more, say, to Christmas and Easter and things like that?
Well, to my rabbi, it's because some of the Christmas stuff
Mm-hmm.
still has like symbols of paganism still,
Hmm.
like the round ornaments and then there's the like the tree is from a pagan symbol and
Okay. So modern Christians have a tradition that a lot of that comes from a lot of different cultures, including pagan backgrounds,
yes.
and the Messianic Jews are trying to stay more in line with the
Yeah.
original. That's interesting. So you mentioned that you've learned that being Jewish is a little bit different from God's Bible School, and I thought that was
Yes, it
quite an
is.
understatement, really. Can you give some examples of that?
Okay, your guys' Shabbat or Sabbath is Sunday. Ours is Friday evening to Saturday evening.
Mhm.
And we practically do the same thing as you guys. We don't do anything. We pray, we do Bible studies. We go to the synagogue 2 or 3 times.
Mhm.
And then we sleep, kind of, it's like a rest.
Mhm.
And then we have more holidays than you guys.
Mhm.
Because this evening starts Yom Kippur,
Okay.
and it goes from this evening to Wednesday evening. So that means I will not be here tomorrow because it's a Shabbat. It's a holiday and we observe it.
Mhm.
And then I wasn't here last Monday because it was another holiday. This is a high holy months, I should say. It has like 4 or 5 holidays.
Mm.
And we have Rosh Hashanah, which is New Year's for us. Then we have Yom Kippur. And then there's Sukkot. And then, actually, there's 3.
Mhm. Okay. So, and though, how many of those would be considered like Sabbaths or Shabbat?
The 3 that I named now are holy days
Mhm.
because that's why they call them the high holies.
Mhm.
And like there's actually one part, like in Hanukkah, there's one day is the Shabbat.
Mhm.
I think that's the first day.
Okay. Now, you've attended a lot of services that, like we have, right? If nothing else, chapel services. How would that be different from the way you would have a service at a synagogue?
This year, like you talked about time, how when you go to a church, like our synagogue will start at 11:30. Well, it's supposed to start, but we will not start until actually 12:15 because we kind of like talk around and the rabbi goes around, talks to people, and then he'll say, okay, I think it's about time. And then before we do that, we bring out the Torah or the scroll, and then we read it in Hebrew and in English. And we do have a worship, but here you guys don't dance. We do.
Hmm.
And we sometimes sing in Hebrew, sing in English.
Hmm. So does everybody dance when they dance, or is
No,
it just
it's just
you?
it's whoever wants to dance.
So it's spontaneous.
Yes, just go up and dance.
Are there planned ones also?
Yeah, there's some of them, like, you actually have to learn the dance before,
Mhm,
because they don't want you to look stupid, or
mhm.
don't want you to embarrass yourself. And then they'll actually tell you, because there's like one leader who actually teaches people to dance, and they'll kind of whisper saying, hey, you know this dance, if not, you need to
Mm,
get out.
okay. All right, anybody have a question for Sarah? Be great for everybody to visit a synagogue sometime. Learn a lot from them. All right, well, thank you, Sarah.